baby.
Welcome to the Independent Hustle with your host, Tony.
Welcome back to another episode of the Independent Hustle podcast. I am your host, Tony.
Jay Bendy.
And this is Terry.
Jay Bendy. Hey man, say your first name.
Like they know Joshua.
All right.
Greatest of all time.
No, I'm just playing. But hey, so Instagram. I was on Instagram yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And I seen a video of this guy. He got pulled over.
About
you seen it?
His tents.
Yeah, his tents. And then he complied with everything the cop said,
right.
But apparently one of the police officers was she was a female.
Right.
She pulled a gun on him.
I don't remember that part.
Well, I see.
I remember that part. She was frustrated. So right now we're speaking on the topic of police brutality. So she became very frustrated because the guy asked for a supervisor. So he's originally pulled over for having, I believe, 5% tint, which is pretty dark. So I'm guessing within that state you're not allowed to have that. So
what was that?
I'm not quite sure.
I do know that when he did get pulled over, though, he did say he's been pulled over before.
Right. And he got tickets.
So he got the tickets, and he even said, "Hey, the due date's not even within." So he still was in that limit of he could have changed it.
Yeah,
he complied with everything that he was saying, but I did notice the female cop when she asked him to roll his window down, he kind of gave her. He didn't give her no attitude. He just told her, "Hey, this is for my safety." She said, "Well, I need it for my safety," and he rolled the window back up because she walked it back around.
So, like Terry said, today's topic is about police brutality. Now, we went on Facebook and we sent like a little post. I posted it on Facebook and I asked people to go ahead and email us on how they felt about police brutality and to send topics. So police brutality actually came up from one of the guys on Facebook. He actually sent a request for police brutality.
One of the listeners, one of the viewers.
Right. And we actually had people email us. And one of the guys who emailed us was Adam. He's from Minneapolis. And he's he was a law enforcement officer. Mm-hmm. He sent a little bit of what he thought about it. I mean, I was able to actually talk to him. And for him to be a prior law enforcement officer, it was pretty cool to actually get like his thought and pick his brain.
Right.
Now, I did, before I actually joined the military, I actually had a little run-in with the cops myself. Mm-hmm. And it's not as serious as,
what you
said. What was going on nowadays. But I did have a taser pull up. One of the cops, he pulled a taser out. Mm-hmm. But it looked like a gun. I don't know if y'all ever seen those. Yeah. That look straight like a gun. So I thought it was a gun, to be honest.
Nervous?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I was a little nervous.
You peed a little bit?
No, I didn't pee. But I was only like 18 years old.
Yeah.
So getting pulled over, at night too. I was alone. And it was a black cop and it was a Hispanic cop. Mm-hmm. Right? Because regardless, people think that, there's a lot of, like the law enforcement officer, Adam, the one I was talking about, he even said, yes, there's racist people in the community.
Yeah, that's been investigated, that's been proven.
Right. And
within the law enforcement.
I don't know who he is personally, because a lot of the emails we've gotten are people that we don't know.
Yeah.
Right? But like I said, it was cool to pick his brain. And for me, it's like, there's a lot of white cops, that's what we see nowadays. Mm-hmm. The media always shows white cops, but there's also our color, black, Hispanics that do the same shit. Now, me being pulled over and actually like having to go through that situation, it's an eye opener, to be honest. And that's why whenever we got the suggestion about police brutality, I think that's an important topic to talk about.
Yeah, it's a very, very touchy topic like that.
Me and you were actually talking yesterday and texting, and I know you had a lot to say. So I'm gonna let you kind of put your your thought into this and share your story to people.
Okay, well, my story is I done traveled from state to state as well as other countries, and here in America, I'm gonna have to say this, and I'm gonna say it clearly. You do have some cops that feel entitled, that without a doubt abuse their authority, and they try to force their authority upon you. So, with that being said, like the incident with the young man and the police officer who pulled out the weapon on that's surfacing all over social media right now. So with that being said, my biggest thing with police brutality, you can comply.
Right.
That's all you hear. You hear from the media, and you hear from people that do not believe minorities when they say, yes, the police, they assault us. We can be sitting there, they approach us. As for all the people that don't believe this, it happens to minority frequently. You can comply. You can do everything right, and the whole situation can still go wrong. There is a lot of bias within the police department. There's both every ethnic, white, black, Asian, Latino, anything you can name, there's a lot of bias within the police department. And yes, the media does play a role with that.
Yep.
So if you look at the case of Tamir Rice, if I'm mistaken, I believe he was in Ohio, the young 13-year-old. When the cops pulled up on scene, they shot him in less than 3 seconds, pulling up on scene. That's 1, 2, 3. That's 3 seconds. So when they pulled up on scene, they shot and killed this 13-year-old boy. Right. And when it surfaced on the media, you had some news media outlet that was like, yes, this was a 6-foot grown man. That was a 13-year-old boy. So yes, the media does paint a vivid picture of minorities out to be aggressors, out to wreak havoc, chaos, anything you just think of, and they paint this picture. And also, when you look into the police department, for instance, this go back 100 years ago. When you look to the police department, what was originally the police was there to do what?
To keep the slaves from leaving.
Correct. So I believe it was in New York when they assigned, I believe it was either in between 6 to 8 police officers within New York, all black police officers, to go ahead and police their area. They didn't give these people a weapon for the fear of uprising and utilizing these weapons against, the masses, white Americans. So when you look at that, if you're not able to give at that time that African American cop a weapon to police his area, a fear of he might retaliate against you, that just speaks on it right there, that bias right there, all over again. And like you said, you was you had to run in with a black and Hispanic cop, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, another thing the media do also is, they do paint white cops in America out to be bad. But I'm gonna be real with you,
and honestly, not all white cops are bad.
Not all cops are bad.
But majority of them, yes. I'm gonna be real.
Okay, I'm gonna get the reason why you say majority. Okay, I say the majority are bad too, and the reason why I say majority are bad is that this stop snitching thing is still going on within communities right now.
Right.
You're not supposed to tell. If you do something wrong, I'm not supposed to rat you out.
Yeah, and it's good that you brought that point up, because me talking to Adam, we actually brought up that question to him.
Oh yeah, the blue line of
right,
silence.
and he said it does exist, but he told us that it's because a lot of these police officers don't talk against their partners because they have that fear of being labeled a snitch, or for people not wanting to partner with them.
See, that right there is what makes majority police officers bad.
Right.
Because you not allowed, or if you feel like it's not your duty to step up and be like, yeah, we have bad cops in this department.
Well, it's a brotherhood, so it's just like any type of gang related thing also too. Like, if you know for a fact your homeboy is doing some terrible stuff, you ain't about to snitch on him.
You can investigate these gangs all day.
Yeah.
But when you investigate these cops, who investigate the cops? Other law enforcement agencies, right?
Yeah.
So how you ever going to get the truth?
Yeah.
You can investigate gangs all day, every day, and find justice.
I hope people on Facebook Live right now, I hope some of you listeners or people who are watching, I hope somebody is a law enforcement officer or a prior law enforcement officer. Because a good question that, it's good to ask and it's valid is, why do certain law enforcement officers, and we've seen this in different occasions, people have gotten away with killing innocent people? You know, a lot of law enforcement officers have gone free.
So from
after, you know, they were proof and all.
From what I've heard from like speaking to some law enforcement officers is they paint the picture of what the media wants to put out, of course.
Right.
But in their rule book, specifically along, say that the officer goes off and shoots somebody, and it's kind of like our rules, the threat triangle, filling the threat triangles.
Right.
So a lot of people do not know the threat triangles, and you can say honestly that some police officers, they do see the threat triangle being fulfilled.
Right.
But a lot of people do not understand that because all they see is, oh, this person just killed this person, this person.
Oh, why? Like, going back to the story of the guy on the social media, how you got, why you have to feel the need to bring out your gun for no reason though?
That part,
you get what I'm saying?
That part right there,
and that happens. That happens daily.
Yeah,
that's not like a
really
one thing
beyond me, because that one. Really, if you really watch that video, the only reason why it even escalated like that is because he made a comment to her,
right,
talking about Nazi Germany. He said something about Nazi Germany, and that got to her, and she felt some type of way about it because he complied.
That doesn't give a right to bring out your weapon.
Right, because the partner clearly was okay with everything he was doing. And then she pushed him to the side.
If you look at it, he was complying. Yeah, he was complying with everything. You know,
he had a gun in the car, but he told him, "Hey, I have a gun in the car."
I think it's registered.
It was registered too.
But I don't feel like there's a need to be pulling out your weapon. If you tell the guy, "Hey, you know, come out the car nicely," he was complying. He would have got out. But you have to pull a gun on him to pull him out. Like, that makes no sense to me. That's why, you know, there's a lot of people who are actually saying, you know, fuck this. And they're shooting back. They're killing cops. I'm not saying it's right.
Yeah.
It's not right in neither way.
It's a retaliation.
Right. But a lot of cops has brought that upon themselves.
Right.
And I'm like we said, not every cop is the same. Not every cop is bad. But majority of them, I feel like it's more of,
I'm gonna have to disagree with the majority part because I believe that most cops are intentionally good. They are intentionally good, but it's the way the media puts it out and the way the social period puts it out.
We gotta also get away from this media term, because before social media, period.
Yeah, you're right. They were like
this. This was always happening. It's just that now we have video footage.
It is.
So
it's video.
It's not the media. It's this policing in general. They need to be trained better.
You're right.
Yeah. And that's one thing that one of our listeners said.
It does not de-escalate a situation. Pulling out your weapon,
right?
That actually triggers fear in between.
But if you think it's a lot of white versus minority.
That's how. Look, we're in America. Just be real with you, okay? We're in America, to be real with you, and that's not going away no time soon. Because you know, you can also look this up. It has been proven that you do have Klan members, you do have white nationalists who are police officers.
They just caught somebody doing that yesterday too. They found KKK
memorabilia, something like that,
memorabilia all over his house, and he got fired.
You have this racism.
Yeah.
Or racist attentions within the police department. It's just that they found this in his house, right? I guarantee 2 weeks from now he's gonna have another job. And what? Law enforcement.
Do you feel like white privilege is like real?
Oh yeah.
To a certain extent.
I really do.
I had a screenshot, a picture, right? I don't know if you guys heard of this girl who killed her baby.
Yeah, buried the child in the backyard.
Right.
Yeah.
And she got away.
She got away with she got away with killing it,
Mm-hmm.
but she didn't get away with how she buried it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the girl from Alabama who got shot, she was pregnant.
Yeah.
She went to jail. And she
Yeah.
was sentenced to time.
For the baby getting shot, yeah.
And it's like, damn.
The difference is the state law, and I'm about to say, is the complexion also.
Like, that's crazy.
And I'm glad you also brought up state law too, because this is also one thing that people do need to understand. Because there are a lot of people who's like, okay, I'm gonna get educated in the law, and they watch these videos of all these people fighting back, talking about, well, I don't have to show my ID and things like that.
Right.
You do have to know that there are different laws in every single state.
Do you think not showing your ID will fall up under freedom of press?
It depends.
Because that's an amendment right there, and the law is not.
I don't.
An amendment.
If you think about it though, I feel like a lot of cops, a lot of the incidents that has occurred, I just feel like sometimes they don't follow law themselves.
They don't.
The procedures, that they're.
It's the criminal justice system.
Didn't that sprout out from like New York or something where it was some law that was applied to all of a sudden they can just rustle up anybody on the street that they felt
that's the stop and frisk, and that's not only done in New York, that's done in Chicago, Detroit, Philadelphia, it's done everywhere. So that's the reason why you get pulled over, or you could be walking on the sidewalk and the jump out boards or the dicks, whatever you want to call them. That's the reason why they come approach this the stop and frisk tactic, which is just wrong because it's done proportionally against minorities. And more likely, you could look this up also, more likely your white counterpart, the majority, will have a weapon, drugs on them before a minority would.
Yeah. And it's good that you brought that up too, because in Florida, I think it was, they actually sentenced ex law enforcement officer because when he was an actual cop,
he was putting drugs.
Yeah, he was actually planting drugs in people's car whenever he stops them.
That video
he
was on YouTube.
And that was video too.
Yeah. So I mean, what you think about that?
That's done. It's done
all
the time.
Yeah, I do.
Do you feel like it's more towards minority though?
Yes, because we are defenseless. We are helpless within the criminal justice system.
What's one thing you feel like they're scared of when it comes to minorities?
It's a lot.
You know what I'm talking about?
Fighting back.
Not only that, you got people, which is crazy. Fear of minority athleticism is intelligence. It could be something so simple that you was born with that somebody would envy you or hate you over. It could be your goddamn skin complexion. I could step out into the sun right now and I might not get a tan. I might not sunburn. I'm a dark skinned guy. But somebody with lighter complexion might start peeling, might turn red. It could be my skin complexion. I don't know, what is that? Sun lotion? What you call that?
Sunscreen?
Yeah, I don't need sunscreen. So it could be something as simple that a person can envy you over.
Right. But, I mean, see what police brutality is really is a sensitive topic. Because you can argue in every way with this.
Another argument you can have with it, like I done had some contact with white police officers that was just totally wrong, and I had some that was just peaceful, it went well. But all my interaction with Mexican and African American cops have always been horrible. I can do everything right, but yet I still get threatened. I still got to get pulled from the car.
Right.
It has always gone wrong. So it's not always, it is the media portraying within the beginning, especially with Black Lives Matter, white cops killing unarmed black people.
Bring in the life matters, all life matters. How you feel about that movement?
Well, Black Lives Matter, all lives matter.
I mean, either or.
So
I think they're both the same.
No, they're not. They're not the same thing.
The way I always hear, because I have a feeling, I already know where he about to go with it. He gonna say it's the protest against the protest. Probably where he was about to probably go with
No, I was about to. Okay, when they say black, that's in general. When they say lives, that's in general. When they say matter, that's in general. So put all this bullshit of black on black violence. Stop all that nonsense. You got white on white violence. You got violence. Period. Right. Don't always go using Well, if they stop killing themselves, maybe law enforcement will stop killing them.
Right.
If you care about yourselves within your community, maybe everybody else will care.
Because really, Black Lives Matter.
Nonsense.
Black Lives Matter really did mean like what he said. The reason why it got so twisted, and I think one reason why that all lives got matter is because just like social media and different people who want to just jump into the trend of things, they went in there and they twisted what it really meant. And they started talking about, oh, it's only black lives. That's all that matters is black lives. We take care of our own, and that's about it. But they just completely destroyed the true meaning behind it.
That sounds like what they did with Colin Kaepernick, that taking the knee. He was there to prove it. That
No.
protest. What's up?
That's crazy to me, because the whole Kaepernick situation, right? He was kneeling. He don't have a job, right? But I recently seen a picture.
I don't mean to cut you off, but he don't have a job because it has been proven. It's not that his skill set, he don't have a job. For you people that's listening, it's not his skill set. The NFL have colluded against him. It's been proven. He won that case. So get off that narrative of he wasn't good enough.
Yeah, and you know, for people like us who are in the military or whatnot, people do sometimes feel disrespected when, you know, you see somebody kneeling or not standing up for the anthem. Okay, I can agree with both sides, but at the same time, we fighting for their freedom. We fighting for that freedom of speech. So to me, it doesn't disrespect. I don't feel disrespected by any means. So if somebody wants to kneel, go right ahead, because I understand why they doing it.
Not only that, Tony, what I feel disrespect is me being an African American serving within the military, to have a Republican or a Democrat to come up there, or you know anybody of elective office to come on the news and say that it's disrespect to the men and women that's serving now. How in the hell you know how I feel? You know what I'm saying? I'm an African American. These subjects touch me dearly. So for you to say that you know how I feel, that just shows that you out of touch
with what we think.
On top of all that, it's a lot of military members who are going out saying, well, it is disrespectful to me. I fought for this country, blah, blah, blah. But I guarantee you, if anybody's ever been on a military base, if you turn colors on, how many people are running inside their car or running inside the building just so they don't have to stand in color?
Like roaches when
and it's every color, every ethnicity. They run in the building.
Right, and everybody runs in the building.
So I don't want to.
What sounds more disrespectful to me? Somebody kneeling to protest what they believe in, or somebody who's running away
just to not go through that whole anthem? And it's the same shit to me. I think that's the same thing.
It's the same
exact
thing.
But recently I seen a picture, I guess a guy in the Olympics, or I don't know, it was a sport, and he was a white male. He kneeled down during the anthem. A lot of these presidential candidates, whenever the anthem plays, they don't even put their hand over their heart. They just chilling. So ain't nobody talks about that. It's the same shit. You kneeling, you're not putting your hand over your chest, you're running in the building to not go through colors. It's the same thing. If you want to label it disrespectful, in every aspect then is disrespectful. But when it comes to like the whole Colin Kaepernick situation, I know why he was doing it. That's why I don't feel disrespected. Because we're fighting for that. That's something we fight for.
That's police brutality.
And what
is real.
Yeah, and you know what kills me the most too is that we have men and women who has died for this flag, for this country, and for us to having to come back to U.S. soil and having to deal with this shit.
You got veterans who has been assaulted, who has been a victim of police brutality,
and they gave almost their whole life to this.
I've been treated better in other countries than I have in here.
Yep.
Man,
me too.
Because I can guarantee this is another fact. I didn't walk through stores in regular civilian clothes and people watch you constantly. They will watch you because you are a black individual. They think you go steal something or anything like that. And I put on a uniform and I walk through the store.
Like
it's completely different.
No, but not even that. I mean, there was a situation with army lady, she or army girl, Army soldier. She went to, I think it was Starbucks or a store. She was buying something. And she was talking in Spanish through the phone. This lady came up to her and said, "You're in America, speak English." I hate that. Because I've gone through that. I've gone through people judging me and telling me, "Yo, speak English. We're in America."
And which doesn't even make sense because, you know...
But she's in uniform. And she was in
South
uniform.
America.
She was in uniform. So, that whole racist thing, I do believe in it. And hopefully you guys don't feel like we're going off topic, but everything just connects. You know what I'm saying? It really does. And with police brutality, the whole situation, you have racist cops. And you have people who are constantly are oppressing and trying to go towards that minority group for no reason.
What shocks me is the way that they handle teenage women and just women in general. That's always shocking on video. Because if I'm not allowed to pick a woman up, slam them, throw them around, flip them any type of way, just because you got on a badge, does that mean you can do the same thing?
Yeah.
Especially if that one does. First of all, if an individual does not have a weapon, right? If you can't wrestle that individual, you can't take that person down, you can't call for backup, open up your door,
But not even with that. Not even with that, because nowadays it's like.
But that's a way of de-escalating the situation.
Yeah, but you have cops that immediately they have backup. I've seen 5 cops stop one person for no reason. You don't need 5 cops against one person.
That's a gang jump in right there. They jumping you in at that moment.
You get what I'm saying? But if let's say the table was turned and we stop a cop.
You ain't never.
But I'm just saying, let's say we pull a gun.
You can't tell a cop. You can't. It's a lot of things you can't even get close to.
But start thinking about that, right? If we were to do the same shit they're doing, that's like a death penalty.
But you also gotta look at it, because I don't want to just say that we're totally just bashing the cops too.
No.
Because you also gotta put yourself in their shoes too, because there are situations where the person is just acting a fool. They really are acting a fool, and if you think about it, every time you step out of that vehicle, you are risking your life. It could be a regular old traffic stop.
That's the same thing for any civilian.
I know that, but I'm just saying you got to put yourself in their shoes too. That some of them really are fearing for their lives. Now there is a difference where I believe the whole psychological method thing. If somebody's really fearing for their life that much, then they should probably go to a class or like set themselves to the side from that. But if you're fearing that much where you're just going to pull your gun on somebody...
It all goes down to training. I think
it's all about the training.
Lacking within America when it comes to cops.
The psychological training should be better.
First of all, our cops they look like us, military-wise. Like, the weapons they are using, the tactics they are using, is just unbelievable.
Yeah. So
with the whole a cop fearing for his life, we talked about this yesterday, Tony. If you go to training or police academy, you pretty much have a weapon nonstop on your hip, within your hands. That's nonstop. So for all my cops out there that have gotten off with killing an innocent person because they had a brush in their hand, a pen, a cell phone, headphones. It's countless of things. A cop can yell weapon. Sometimes they yell weapon. They just shoot.
Start shooting.
They shoot you in your back.
Without actually knowing if they have a weapon.
Yeah, they shoot you in your back. You take off running. I would never understand it, because you look at other countries. America is supposed to be quote unquote the best.
We not.
Yeah.
We not.
Any smart individual. I'm gonna say smart individual because it's a lot of people that's out there that pride is America. They ignore everything else around them. It's America. Yeah. Don't take my guns. America. You know what I'm saying? It's America. So there's other tactics that other countries and other law enforcement they utilize, which is hand-to-hand combat. This person ain't got a weapon on them. I'm gonna say it again. If you don't feel safe, open up that car door, hide behind that car door, get back in your car and call for backup.
Yeah.
Your first reaction is not to shoot.
Your gun.
And now if this person has a knife, the hell you got a taser for? And then a lot of people want to say, well, if that taser don't work, you know what you do now? You phone to that police department and y'all bring out them shields and you box that individual in to where he cannot or she cannot use that knife.
Right.
You got a shield now, corner that individual, and then you go ahead and arrest them. It's just so many different ways you can just go with this.
But I just feel like every incident is always pulling out the gun immediately.
And don't they have those with those little rubber bullet type things?
Yeah, they got those too.
So I don't know. Like the whole, it's just crazy. No, it just really is crazy, man. Because, I mean, I've known law enforcement officers. My uncle, he was actually a law enforcement officer in Puerto Rico, a corrupt one. I'll be real. He was a corrupt one. But that's because it's the way they're trained. You know, in Puerto Rico, of course, there's not a lot of resources. They do shit differently. Every department is different, right? And that's what the whole conclusion me speaking to Adam was that, you know, every department is different. But if you come and see, all the incidents don't happen in just one state. It happens everywhere. This is everywhere, right? So every department, every state, every city, they have to learn how to actually come up with a plan on how to arrest somebody, when to pull out the gun.
They need a better plan. They already have one. They just need a better method about going.
And then, you know, you got chief of police, you know, the heads. They need to really step it up. Because at the end of the day, it is looking bad on them too. Mm-hmm. Because they're the ones who are in charge. I mean, it's not like, probably they don't give a fuck about what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
And you gotta also look at the whole fact that when people start bringing out their phones and start videotaping, in the cops' mind, I'm pretty sure they're thinking, okay, now I have to figure out a way to talk to this person because I already know when this gets posted online that this is gonna make myself look bad. No matter
what if they banned that pulling out your phone?
What if they didn't come up with the idea of having cameras on law enforcement officers' chests? What you think would be going on?
They
now?
would still be getting recorded. They still with or without that camera, with that camera on, they still turn that camera off. Mm-hmm. So either way it go, they have cameras on police cars that record also.
Because that's how
it goes,
the whole incident with the whole stopping, when they stopped that guy, that's how the actual video came out, because he was recording ahead of time. So
according with the chest cam, for instance, there was also a video that happened a while back where this guy stopped this man and this woman and his kid in the back, and he asked for his license and registration, and the dude was like, hey, I have a gun in my glove compartment, my license and registration is in there too. And the cop said, okay, don't reach for the gun. He said, okay.
That was about 3 years ago,
he opened up the glove compartment, and the cop was like, don't reach for the gun. He's like, I'm grabbing my registration. And he kept screaming, don't reach for the gun. And next thing you know, he just unloaded on the dude. Now, this was all filmed from the cam of the police car.
Right.
But, so the cop told him that, hey, he was reaching for the gun. But when they showed the actual video cam from his chest cam,
made it over there.
It was a whole different thing.
Did they fire him?
That part I don't know. I didn't read that part.
I think that case is still going.
It's still?
I believe it's still going.
But why, if you have evidence, why you keep going with the damn...
Because one is a cop and the...
It doesn't matter. I mean, if you clearly see...
The justice system is horrible.
It is.
It's very horrible.
It is. And it's crooked.
So, yeah. If you can get, what is it, 12 jurors? You get 12 of them on stand to agree with whatever point of view you are.
Do you feel like when it comes to cases, you know, in on court, especially when it comes to having to deal with cops, do you feel like the people, what you call them, the jurors, whatever?
Jury.
Yeah.
That's it. They get judged by.
Do you feel like they're basically bought, like it's rigged?
I'm gonna have to say yes, because a juror takes in like I never done it before, but this is just me using my common sense. They're going to take in the fact of this person has been a cop for how long? He's been serving the community for how long? This person have a great record.
Right.
Like, it's like, for instance, if you was to get in trouble right now in the day and you do something serious, a lot of the tactics that the cops and the media will sometimes use on you, you can be a great kid or a great adult right now, but you have done something stupid in your past.
Right.
Like posted something reckless on doggone Facebook or something like that.
Yeah.
They're going to use that bad image before they use the image of you in your military uniform.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
they're gonna say,
it don't matter the good. Yeah, it don't matter the
incidents.
good that you have done.
Yeah.
They're gonna always go back to the bad. The cop is gonna be like, well, he's a cop or she's a cop. So I'm going ahead and I'm using the entire record of the individual being a cop, and I'm going ahead and get this to the jury.
Okay.
So now they viewing like this person has been a cop for 12 years.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
It's
11,
the
12
first
years.
incident.
Yeah, this is the first incident.
So he's not guilty.
It was a mistake.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? It was a mistake. So
Yeah. Now
it can go both ways.
Didn't he say something about that?
what?
I think he had said something. No, never mind. That's dealing with the emotional standpoint of how the cops had actually dealt with racism.
Oh yeah. He was talking about there was like a little, how you call it? They go through a stress.
Like a stress test.
Yeah, and it's called Words on War, which they put the law enforcement officers have to write a word that really triggers them when it comes to the whole police brutality type of thing. And he was telling me that majority of them was race,
dealing
with
with
race and what's
some
the other
type
thing?
of creed.
It was mostly with the race and the community, you know, where they come from. So, and he was telling me that whenever the chief of police or one of the leaders will read off the words, he can see the faces of a lot of those police law enforcement officers who they just getting mad and they can control themselves because I guess race gets them mad. I don't know. It's crazy because that's when you really realize, like, damn, they really got an issue. You know, a lot of these guys are.
If I had to grow up with sticks and stones, they break my bones, but words would never hurt me. Shouldn't they?
Yeah, but
I'm just saying.
it's just crazy.
And I'm not carrying a weapon every day.
I
I got my conceal.
Yeah, me too.
But the reason why I don't carry my weapon out every day is the fear of a cop either shooting.
I mean,
that's low key the reason why.
In all honesty, I carry mine.
Or you also I can't, because then also you got these gun crazed people out here.
Yeah.
It's off topic, but you got these gun crazed people out here
Mm-hmm.
that will also kill you also because you have a weapon, and they feel you as a threat.
Do you feel like police officers really they use their position of authority to basically
put fear in
on
Some of them do most definitely, because that goes back like I was saying,
like bullying. They be bullying people.
I dealt with a lot of minority cops within the area of Chicago.
Yeah.
And you do have cops who still have that gang mentality. You do have cops who are still in gangs.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at it from that perspective, I done dealt with a lot of minority cops that was just horrible.
Right.
And I'm surprised it probably is still serving today.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much stuff that we see nowadays, and yeah, the media does play a big part of it, you know. But it's like both sides, and I'm not going to just like we don't want nobody to feel like we're really bashing any police officers, but you know, it's a reality. You know, this is stuff that we're going through on a daily basis, and it's not just, you know, white people, you know, as you want to call it, Americans, whatever. You know, it's majority of it is linked to minorities. You know, a lot of the minorities are being harassed for no reason just because of the skin complexion and just because, oh, well, I feel like he has drugs, so let's harass him. You know,
always the community that you live in. So
it's like with the shootings. With the shootings, a lot of those shootings were white Americans. And they got treated, and they got treated way different you know, from what a minority would. And let's say a minority would have done what they did, they would have got shot.
Shot them on
They
the
would have got
site.
shot, and that's reality though.
You get put in the chokehold for
Right.
selling cigarettes.
And I do, like I said, I do believe that the media does play a part into this. But at the end of the day, this is reality. This is what we're facing. This is what we're going through. So, for people who say, "Oh, racism don't exist," yes, it does.
It's not only racism, but not every cop holds a racial motive.
Right.
It's biases.
Yeah.
That actually.
But like we stated, I feel like they need to do better. They need to do better, and not only cops, but us as a community, as people, we just got to do better.
It's gonna be difficult because crime happens regardless. So the do better standpoint is for the cops, which you say do better.
Yeah.
Civilian style too, though, because
it's everybody.
If you look at it, it's always going to be crime within the area,
right?
And you need cops, right?
Yeah.
So I can't necessarily say civilians have to do better. Every cop police an area.
When I say civilians do better, I mean by the way they are approached with the whole cop and them situation. Because some of them, they toss a whole attitude out there for no reason. They'll turn something small into a big situation.
It's not no reason. It's the constant interaction with cops.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I don't know why you're saying that they've been through it so much that it's like it's annoying to them.
Now, I don't mean to cut nobody off, but we're finna get off air on the audio portion. We're gonna continue this conversation on live stream. All right. So for everybody out there who listen to audio, and even the people on live right now, you know, we want to give thanks to everybody who's been supporting so far. You know, we've been growing little by little, and we do have our personal email now. Y'all can email us at theindependenthustlepodcast@gmail.com. If you have any opinions on this topic, or you have a topic that you want us to talk about, go ahead and email us. Also follow us at the Independent Hustle Podcast on Instagram. Also with my Instagram, you can follow me at Anthony Vega Official. That's my personal IG. I don't know if you guys want them.
You can hit me up. I don't even remember. It's either Big Ben 31 or Bendo with just one O.
And then Terry, you know, he's not really in social media.
Yeah, just Google me.
You old man.
And you ain't gonna find nothing. But yeah, thank you once again, and have a blessed day.